Hi, welcome to You Started It with Daniel Fernandes. On today's episode, I have Sahil Shah and Malishka Mendonsa. Sahil is the voice of reason on East India Comedy, and Malishka is very popular on radio.
You're saying she's not the voice of reason.
No.
She's not. She doesn't.
Of course you are. You're the voice of many reasons.
What is the reason she's voicing these
You
things?
heard Malishka on Red FM 93.5, the favorite radio station of the BMC. Welcome to the
Thank you,
podcast, guys. Such a pleasure to have both of you
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you, Dana.
Today,
Yeah.
on today's episode, we are discussing something really interesting that has happened in the world of cricket,
Uh-huh.
where even non-cricketing fans are very intrigued.
Yeah.
And the headline that I'm referring to is Aussie captain deputy stepped down after ball tampering.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve Smith and David Warner have to relinquish their positions because one of their players, Mr. Bancroft, was
Tampering with the ball.
tampering with the ball.
His ball.
I mean, it's the fact is that like I still laugh every time I hear ball tampering. I don't think I've reached that mature level where I can't hear ball tampering and go ball tampering.
I know.
No, especially after what he did after tampering with the ball.
He
You
put it-
would.
yeah, he put everything
it
in.
in
No,
his
The best
chuds.
part, exactly.
yeah.
The whole sequence of events was a really bad pun.
It was
you know what I'm saying?
It was
right?
very weird. There was
He tried to tamper with the ball, then he took whatever that tape or
he took
whatever he had.
sandpaper.
It was it was a
Sandpaper.
plectrum. I heard like
Some-
a
yeah.
like
No.
a bright
Yeah,
yellow.
somebody said it was a plectrum.
It was a guitar plectrum. You know, like जिससे गिटार बजाते हैं उससे
Yeah.
उसने अपनी खुद की बजा दी भाई.
That's what somebody,
career
on
की
one of the
बजा
videos
दी.
it said guitar plectrum, somebody else said tape. I don't know how you can do it with tape.
Very weird. I'm getting
Because with the plectrum I can understand because it's a hard a
Yeah,
hard
a
thing and you
piece of
can you
plastic.
can
No,
it's a
it
piece
was
of plastic.
sandpaper. So so I read about it. It's basically with the ball, if you have to roughen the edge a little to get that whatever that
Swing.
Swing.
spin.
I like
See,
Sahil.
I'm a cricketer.
The best
I'm
part
a-
is Sahil does not watch cricket. So he has read 3 paragraphs and he tried to sound like
Dude,
Yeah, so
okay.
what you know, so the thing is, so you have to get and then you have to rough it up and
So to get a reverse spin,
Oh,
you
oh, is it
swing,
no?
swing,
reverse
not
swing.
spin, reverse
Yeah.
swing.
To get a reverse swing, you have to make the ball little like rough on one side. So you use sandpaper, and so that's what he did.
Well
He used sandpaper.
I'll tell you my
Well,
version.
what is your version?
My version is I saw this video
Ah.
where this child was being in front of the whole world scolded by his teacher.
Okay.
Because I mean him only. It was horrifying to see because I kept imagining if I was in his place, dude. He had his uniform is white.
White.
Okay, it's snowflakes, and this damn thing is sunshine yellow.
Yellow.
And with how many cameras, Daniel
30
Newton? 30
cameras.
cameras around. That too in this
30
day of
cameras.
हाँ HD जब आपका हर पोर दिख जाता है उसमें उसने ये येलो सनशाइन निकाला जो रगड़ा and all of that and then he has the temerity to like put it in his
That is the best part. That is the best part. Oh, I got caught. Where? What should I do?
put it in my chuds.
Just put it.
Which is the worst place to put sandpaper.
Sandpaper.
If it is, dude.
और a guitar plectrum क्या बजा रहे हो?
Because one second. Because now it's not just the cricket ball that is getting tampered.
I mean, it's pretty cool that way, right? Like in the dressing room, removes his pants. Like, hey, not bad, dude. Pretty smoothened out, you know.
No, and he's getting reverse swing also.
I can't imagine what happened in the toilet. He's like, oh no, plastic is bad. I was always
There's
told.
shine on one side only. Like, it's so stupid. See, I'll tell you what, okay? Let's, on a very human level, let's not get into the whole whether it was right or wrong thing. It's on a human level.
Because we know it was wrong.
It was wrong. That's not up for debate. But on a human level, cheating has occurred over the history of mankind. Like there's always been episodes. We have all also cheated, like you know.
in sports itself, yeah.
Sports
The
itself,
towel
but
incident and all.
Probably some of us were born because people cheated.
Exactly, yeah.
No, not.
Exactly. But I think what is really upsetting here is in the manner in which they got caught.
Yeah.
Like get caught with some finesse. You know, like when Nirav Modi left, we were angry for 5 minutes, and after that, but he took.
But that's how we got. That's how we took all the money, na. Loan अंदर चट्टी में डाल के भाग गया. They met him. They're like, sir.
अरे क्या बात है? Like that was impressive, you know, like a movie like Catch Me If You Can, like you know, it's because of the manner in which so many people were duped. This was like हम लोग कितने चूतिया नहीं है यार दिख रहा है. I'm like, if you want to cheat, but then do it with some finesse, na. यही क्या है? Like this is 30 cameras, HD, yellow. Like at least there should be at least 5 players in the Indian team going at least yellow क्यों use कर रहे हैं और white use करना साले
or you know, if you're cheating, at least cover it up. Have 5 people form a wall around you, ताकि you
Because
can
all of them anyway were in
Yeah.
on it from what we heard.
you can do that because all the photos are just his pant pulled, hand in. I'm like, this is not.
This is not the Sahi ball time.
This is not the image I want to look at. Dude.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
see this every morning on the road. You know, truck driver
Like,
होता है हाथ अंदर ऐसे घिस के आता
like
है.
my disrespect for the Australian team is not for the action but for the manner in which they caught. I'm like,
So you're like cheating करा तो पकड़ा तो नहीं जाना
style
चाहिए.
में करो.
He's like, you know what he should have done, like according to Daniel, is like he would have run, he would have almost caught the ball, okay, but before he caught the ball, you have to like catch it like that and put it one hand in and slide it and then get up, you know, तो थोड़ा planning करके, not directly pant खोलो अंदर डालो.
How
you
could
know.
Nirav Modi have cheated better?
Because that's how he did.
But that's what Nirav Modi
Nirav
did.
Modi did.
Actually,
That's what I
cheated
said.
better,
He just put it in his pants.
Put 11,000 crores over here. They're like, sir, क्या बढ़िया boner है आपका, मस्त है. Please clear him, निकाल दो.
And their prime minister had to apologize and all. Imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Australian Prime Minister got involved in this.
He
like,
got involved.
And here when Nirav Modi happened, our Prime Minister was like, in that photo, na, Davos का एक photo लिया उसने. I don't know, he photobombed. Like that is our Prime Minister response to cheating. Photobomb. Like. But back in the day, let's be honest, we all tried our hand at this whole.
Yeah.
School.
We don't have one.
School में.
Exams. During exams, yeah. But the thing is, I was very honest. So if I would cheat, then I would pray to God.
What was your
I feel bad that
what
I
was your cheat tactic in exam?
My cheat tactic in exam would be like, if the guy, I remember in my geography exam, you had to color the different countries and all that shit. So I would just be like, I would sit like this and then I'd be like, that's it. Very subtle cheating. I was a very sweet, innocent boy. I never cheated hardcore.
I was a head down, hand up person. So head down, hand up means paper or paper.
You were
so I used
always
to
writing.
Yeah, doesn't mean that I was exceptional or that I'm just writing lots of stuff. कुछ ना कुछ तो सही आ जाएगा. But I think I remember trying once just for fun because I said what the hell, and it was like, gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it was the 11th standard. It was an exam that didn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Tell me.
So no, I'm actually telling you which exam mattered. I'm trying to think of, and so I was just like looking around and was too bored. So I think there was another boy. So which is generally nain matakka mein cheating.
What about you all didn't have plans?
I'm a very sweet person. I never ever cheated in my exams. I was very seedha sada. If someone else was cheating now, I would be angry because they are cheating. I was that seedha sada.
My group of friends, we had a full strategy. So we used to so multiple choice question, we could do the coughing thing. So so question number 1.
B.
How did I not? Wow.
Dude, and I remember once I went totally hardcore on this. I was answering an exam. I think this was in the 8th standard, I think this was, or the 7th standard, I was answering an exam. And
Very
the guy,
tough classes.
Very tough. Well, these are life-changing exams, And the fuck up is, I was always I was one of the smarter guys in the class, and I was always. So you used to according to roll numbers.
Subtle plug again.
No, roll numbers. So the guy in front of me was a very good friend of mine, but very dumb also, yeah. So he would never study, and he would always be like, you have to help me.
That guy is always, hey bro, please, yeah. Please,
the one, that one guy, ek revision karna, ek revision.
Convent school. So yeah.
So one paper, I think this was a physics exam, so I don't remember. Dude, he was asking me for answers for every question.
What was your teacher doing?
Teachers don't care, dude. 85 students in a class after a point
of time, they don't
See,
care.
when we didn't have 30 cameras looking at us, we had 2 eyes.
We had 2 eyes.
And your conscience at best.
That had mostly given up on life itself.
And the thing with cheating is now you have to be very, like Daniel said, you need to do it with finesse, right? I got caught 2-3 times for cheating, even though I wasn't cheating. But the problem was because I looked so stressful and creepy.
You got caught?
Because this is also, I'm writing my exam and I'm like, staring straight into the teacher's eyes, hey, what's up?
Something's up.
Yeah, she kuch na kuch hai. This guy is weirding the fuck out of me.
Exactly. So the trick to not getting caught is doing it with finesse. So here's what I did, okay? This guy didn't know most of the answers. So I actually wrote down answers. Because I finished my paper, I wrote down the answers in my question paper.
Sweet boy.
Folded the question paper, and I got up to leave.
Wow.
To give my paper and walk out of the class. As I woke up, as I got up, I walked out, and as I'm passing by, threw the paper into his desk.
Okay,
You're
this
James
wa-
Bond.
I am not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
making
The
this
seventh
up.
standard.
It actually worked. It all came together, and I walked out, and that was the last time.
This
I
really sounds like a Pehla Nasha music video.
Did
you
you
know, like
con-
when Tarang little crew, he opens.
Did you go for confession after that, Daniel?
No, man.
No? Bless me,
I
Father.
don't
Pastor,
understand
didn't
the
happen.
concept of confession. Jesus has already seen. और क्या बोल लो अभी like उसने
थोड़ा
देख
just
लिया
थोड़ा
है
proof देना है.
और
थोड़ा
क्या
proof
like
देना है कि yeah, I can cross check with my records.
So I have to tell you this one thing about, since we're on the once there was this exams that they have. My friend was one of the professors. She called me to moderate. Isn't that what they call it? When you
Moderate,
walk,
yeah, yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
walk up, not cock. When you walk. Thank you.
I like how that's the cock you
Yeah,
thought of.
yeah. Sahil, I love you. You're a very sweet boy.
He is a very
You
sweet
didn't
boy.
figure it's a
Yeah,
Freudian
yeah.
slip, but what's on my mind? But so I was walking up and down the aisle, and these are
Not
grown ass.
cocking, you were walking,
Yeah, I was not cocking. Because
At
it was
that
an
time,
exam.
ball tampering
I
makes
was-
sense then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I was all in power and all.
Yeah.
Because these grown ass men were writing papers.
Yeah.
It was a problem.
Huh.
And so while they were writing, I had to, and I was really young, okay, but I had this whole expression of gabbar like
Yeah.
that. And then apparently I didn't know you were supposed to allow them to go to the loo. I said if they go to the loo, it means cheating.
Cheating.
So one or two of them did say, "Madam," I was like, "Sit down and write your paper." I didn't let them go to the loo. Later we also figured that there were chits in the loo. But my
Yeah.
Obviously.
One second. You all went to a school where you could go to the loo during an exam?
Yeah, same.
What?
Same. And I realized it was so easy to cheat because
One second. The exam is like a half an hour, 1 hour paper. Who can't manage their business before and after? We were never allowed to go to the loo.
I was very stressed.
Dude,
out.
come on, yeah, loo is 100% cheating. Come on.
convent school girl,
Yeah.
I don't think we even thought that we would be allowed. We had already, out of guilt, taken out permission. That possibly
This
you
is
can
so
go.
hilarious because if I in my school,
I'm sure you could, you just
in
didn't.
my no, trust me, you don't know the kind of people that went to my school. In my school, if you were allowed to go to the loo, okay, during your exam, here's what would happen: everybody would get their question paper and they'd look at it, madam, tatti aa rahi hai.
No, I
Would all go one by one. What?
No, but you aren't you allowed? You're supposed to be able
You're
to.
allowed to
I
go to the- I
never
was
went
allowed to go
during
to the
school.
You were not allowed.
That's why I didn't know now, so I didn't send these poor grown ass men.
But that's why we had to like innovate and become.
See, there are
like,
ways to cheat. It depends on your guilt. You know, I was too guilty. My conscience didn't let me
Same.
cheat. So I would go to the bathroom, do my susu quietly. I'd think, fuck yeah, I wish I could cheat. And then I'd go back.
Yeah.
I know, very garib, very, very garib.
See, the thing is, with me, later on in life, I realized that I didn't get into trouble in school for anything else. So, for me now, this is my street cred. I was never the kid who got suspended or anything like that. So, I'm the
So
guy.
boring, yeah.
Exactly. So, I'm the guy who got good grades, but I also helped other people with their exams.
Like, but I'm not like a.
Jesus is watching.
Yeah, I'm not so pure also. I mean, if you're
तो
talking
कुछ
about
तो
this.
किया
Yeah,
होगा
pure,
हाँ.
please.
मैंने book चोरी किया library से. I had a
Yeah,
gang.
that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
we used to think
Yeah.
like I used to think like I was in Dhoom, you know, because I had a gang, right? One dude would be at the ground floor, making sure no one would come. If anyone would come, he'd be like, oh. There would be one in the middle who would just be like, I mean, it looks cool if I say he was smoking, but it's cool. So he would be with a chocolate in his mouth, and I would be there. And what I'd do is I'd take a book and I'd tuck it in my pants, and then I'd suck my stomach in, and I'd be like, okay, bye, and I'd walk away. And only I'd keep the
But
book.
what
obviously,
book did
'cause
you?
no one would-
What book did you steal?
Goosebumps. I was really, I don't know why. I could buy it. I could get it in a normal library.
But that thrill,
That-
बचपन में
oh,
मतलब
dude,
जवानी
that
में नहीं कर
thrill,
सकते बचपन
that
में
thrill,
करके
when I told my parents, I got yelled at really badly. Yeah. And I was forced to return it, but I still have it in home. Like treasured away, you know, like अब ये चोरी का माल.
Now we all know.
Yeah. If you will never find it, it's hidden. This is my greatest prized treasure. That one school library book.
Only
जो
one time he managed to.
And that was proper ball tampering because मैंने पैंट के अंदर डाल के I Steve Smithed it before Steve Smithed it, dude.
Because if you're a fan of
Bancroft.
Sahil's work, yeah, if you're a fan of Sahil's work, you know that Sahil loves puns. So he's
Yeah.
just taken up with this whole ball tap.
Ball
Ball tampering.
Yeah,
the
dude.
next show.
I cannot imagine Sahil and his girlfriend the next time. Yeah, what do you want to do for foreplay? Like ball tampering?
Ball
obviously.
tampering, dude. I can't hear you. What? Oh, that's called
Want
tampering.
some
Okay.
See? Anyway, before we move on to the Q&A, Malishka, do you have anything that you want to... Like, what was your prize
My-
cheating moment? That you got away with?
I know I'm trying. Not like I wouldn't have done it. I'm not. But I'm a memory is a fail at total. My best that I remember is like the best that or the worst trouble I got into school was when I took this. You know when chalk they write on the board. So मैंने ऐसे chalk का powder bowl से collect किया and then I went and poo in my teacher's face, boss.
Hey, dude,
That's
pretty ballsy,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty ballsy.
Not
Yeah, just
yeah,
keeping in pace with the
Yeah.
topic. That's pretty ballsy.
Pretty balls.
Yeah. See, I got something to the table. So
But that's what, I remember that the chalk would gather at the bottom of the board.
I wonder.
Collect it.
Do they still do that in schools? Do they write on?
Yeah.
Do they still have? Do they still have?
We were super aggressive as
They
a
have
class.
blackboards in school now?
I do, or whiteboards with like
They have
color
blackboards.
pencils.
They have
Dude,
blackboards.
I had
He's been
teachers.
school
I had teachers who who'd write on the board. And if they could hear chatter at the back, they would turn around and that chalk would turn into a bullet, dude.
This Halari.
my teacher used to throw the duster. Okay. My
Yeah,
teacher-
even we had.
We were so
Boys.
Yeah, and mine was an all boys school, so we were very violent. So I have had guys who have put bread in their mouth, bread and doodh, and puked near the teachers. Just say ulti aayi hai.
Okay.
I've had bombs, and I mean, you know, you get those Diwali pe those bombs where you throw them and they
Apti
go
bombs.
patak.
Apti
Apti
bombs.
bomb.
Yeah. So, we
Diwalis were different.
Yeah,
we did
we
firecrackers.
would come into class and we would just, when the teacher would turn around, pat, you turn around, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Everyone sitting quietly. Pat, we would get sneezing powder, to put sneezing powder in your nose and get sneezing attacks. We have done some messed up
Okay,
shit.
you
dude.
guys were pretty bad.
Very
So
aggressive,
well
right?
done.
Thank you.
Everyone. Again, moral of the story, if you want to cheat, do it with finesse.
Or if you want to be naughty, do it with finesse. You know?
Don't get
Oh,
caught.
then-
Yeah.
Yeah, more than poof.
After cheating.
What's it called? Fupti bomb.
Apti.
Apti bomb. Apti
Where do you,
bomb.
where were you?
How do you not know
You're
Apti
a
bombs?
bomb.
It's a Bombay thing. The
Apti
small
bomb
things
nahi
you
mahiti
just-
thi.
Yeah, I used to call it fatakra. This is a very good
Fatakra is the other one. no?
Fatakra is the
Yeah,
lady
yeah,
who walked
oh,
out of
yeah,
the car. Fatakra.
Good times. Anyway, so now we'll move on to the Q&A part of the
Is this
podcast.
the stressful part?
Considering
Oh,
the
this is
fact that you got
is-
nothing from the Steve Smith incident except us.
Wait, they got a valuable insight. They got a
Yeah.
valuable
कि
insight.
cheat करना है तो पैंट में मत डालो.
Cheat,
नहीं, और-
पैंट में मत
yeah.
डालो, do it with finesse.
और color coordination important है.
हाँ.
भाइयों
Very
बहनों,
important.
listen.
Very important.
Get a
very
stylist if you're going to cheat like
Very
that. You know,
important.
like
Correct.
white and then white.
थोड़ा
Yeah.
ऐसे मतलब.
Yeah, I agree.
I felt really horrible at the end of that.
For
incident.
all of you who are tuning into the podcast to learn something, you learned something.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll Q&A. First question is for you, Malishka. This is from Lakshmi. She
I
said-
want to ask if you're cheating. Are these real questions?
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah.
Okay, huh.
So her question is: after the BMC Portals parody and the whole controversy, will you make more such songs?
Why am I supposed to learn a lesson from that or something?
I don't know. No, I think they're coming from a place where because people assume that backlash like this will silence our voices. So
See, the reason I made that song was not to create a controversy. The reason was we've always been doing this. Like through comedy,
correct.
you guys have touched upon so many subjects. But suddenly tomorrow in a year or in a time when they realize that lots of the masses are gathering and people are revolting or making a noise or laughing at us, that's when they even realize it. They notice it.
Yeah.
So sure enough, if I need to get their attention again,
you will.
and so much brilliance happens once more, then yes, of course.
Call us. We'll also join in.
Yeah,
I know.
In fact, yeah, this
I
time
feel like it was a
love to
missed
join.
opportunity for us.
In fact, you know, when the whole thing happened, I was in America and I was so incensed with everything that was happening. I started dancing on the streets in America and telling people thank you for supporting me. And then from there I tweeted, I have 6 more songs ready. Everyone died away after I came back. The news channels kept asking me, 6 songs. I said, है, पिटारे में है, कुछ होने तो दो.
पूरा album anti BMC album.
What I found so funny was BMC's response to it with their song. And I was like, that was so cute. Yeah, I was like, it's so
Oh,
cute.
I did.
नायका अरे काम करना है काम करना है यार
I'm not saying anything, but yeah. And then I went to the chief minister's office eventually, and I spoke to him and said, you know, is this the kind of freedom we have? Are we allowed to speak or not? Matlab, in the same vein, he said, "Tumi Sahana, you make 12 songs." I said, make it on me also. He said, but expect me also to come back with songs. I said, sir, why not just call me as a script writer?
which you did that
No.
Yeah, he did that.
ये जो धरती I'm like the fuck
So
are
one
you
sec.
doing, dude?
Malishka has to blame for that.
Yeah, because of your
wow.
Sonu, he decided to do a green screen thing about saving the water.
So I take responsibility and I'll write the lyrics next time.
Well done, Malishka. Well done. So basically,
Devut.
so this is her equivalent of ball tampering. She got the chief minister to do that.
What?
Okay,
He's a comedian.
Sahil,
Bolo.
next question for you, and I got this from a lot of people asking
Yeah.
me the same question. This is the most common one I got. This one I picked one from Ruchira. She like, please ask Sahil, where did he get his passion for bow ties from? Is there a cool backstory?
No.
I wish you were wearing a bow tie now.
Yeah, you're not.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
Ball tampering?
Yes, surprise. No, I just wore it one day long time ago. We were doing a photo shoot and I wore it. And Tom, you remember Tom, right? From Comedy Store?
Yeah.
He was one of the producers at Comedy Store. He told me, hey, the bow tie looks good. And at that time, I was full gappu. So I was fat and I had curly hair. So the bow tie gave me the, one of those typical mad scientist sort of looks. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll keep on wearing it. And that's how it was, dude. And then it became a look. So that's it. There's no logic to it.
Okay, but then now you just wear it.
Now I wear it for every show because now, unfortunately, if I do a show, they're like, where's the bow tie? You know, like the look has been established. So after a point of time, like if you roam around with that gun on your hand every day, exactly, they'll be like, where's the gun? You know, Malishka, where's the gun?
Okay.
No, they keep asking me to sing the song.
Exactly.
Instead. Where's the song? If you saw your face, you must sing
the
the
bow
song.
tie is my Sonu.
Sonu!
Nice. All right, Malishka. Next one is for you. This is from Daksh. Wait, I'm trying to paraphrase this question so it sounds smart. One second.
That's my joke.
Okay, what is the experience of being a radio jockey at a time when people are more attracted towards other forms of media? And do you think this is the reason the radio industry isn't as huge as it used to be? I think this is a perceptive question.
Yeah, it's
No, but I'll take it.
Question. Okay.
Tell me question number 1 first.
What is the experience of being a radio jockey in a time when people are more attracted towards other forms of media?
Okay. This question has been thrown at us for quite a few years now.
Okay.
And I've actually attended workshops in other countries also where they've actually ticked us out saying, radio is going to die, radio is going to die. And for sure, I will not say that the allure of other mediums is not larger. It's like a wife syndrome, you go, you come back, wala scene. Kahan jaoge wapas to yahi
Exactly,
aaoge.
yeah.
Because radio offers to people something different from other forms of media. It is extremely local. You're in the city. You're listening to what's happening. You're listening to a particular voice that you're used to. You want to listen to an interesting take that they will bring to you.
Yeah.
You can, of course, choose to go to your podcast. If you have a driver, you can choose to watch a movie. So everything is competing with everything else. But I feel for me, my kind of radio is irreplaceable in the sense that people keep coming into the city. The population keeps growing. I know that there are people who used to listen to me when they were younger, who've gotten out of the country, and they call me from the US or Australia or wherever and say, we want to listen to it. Because now, also the other thing is that it's no more just terrestrial radio, right? We're online. And through radio, we've gotten onto so many other. I used to always say, I wish radio had television attached to it.
Yeah.
And now it does.
Yeah, thanks to YouTube
with
and all that,
YouTube, digital. So we're constant. In fact, we put up the most content on the Red FM India webpage, if you see. There's a lot of content. I have forayed into other media. I've done a film. I've done television. I'm here sitting with you. So there's a lot of opportunity. You just have to find it.
But is it a perception that the radio industry is affected by the growth of other media?
No,
I don't know.
It could be true. I'm not.
Is it? Has anyone measured? Has listenership declined with the rise of the internet?
Not that I know of here, but I know, of course, abroad they have. And they're pretty worried that, that
because even when...
it's changing on a totally different thing, because I think in India, I feel a lot more people want to listen to it also. Andar aa jao! I feel in India, a lot more people want to listen to it. A lot more, and like you said, in the car, your driver as well as you, everyone, it cuts across all boundaries. So everyone is going to listen to it. Your driver can't watch a movie while he's driving because obviously
it's very local. It's sometimes like someone's reading out the newspaper to you, giving you an interesting
because even when the internet took off and they were like the news is available, newspaper will die. It never died. Even though now it's weird because now there are no spoilers.
Yeah.
Now every newspaper is a spoiler experience, because there's you already know what the news
What's
is.
going to happen?
You know what has happened, but now you're getting perspective on the news.
Yeah.
And you still...
And I think it's the same thing, dude. It's the same thing with TV, YouTube, everything. With the radio, after a point of time, you become a personality and people want to follow through with that personality. People want to
I should hope so.
Even you had that entire... What was that campaign?
Malishka ko mat
suno. I'm like, what has happened to her?
Thank you
why not suno, dude? But
And I got you,
no? Yeah, you got through. So a lot of people are like, okay, cool, dude. This is cool. I want to listen to it.
Like right now, we're doing this thing called Mumbai Ki Plastic Surgery, which I'm also very excited about. But these are things that we could have come up as individuals. You can do this on YouTube. I'm saying these ideas that we do are also things that are young, they're new, they bring the city together. So plastic, they're going to ban plastic. So we've decided to get people to collect their plastic, give it to me in a truck, and we're going to take it to this institute, this place in Pune that converts it into polyfuel.
Nice.
So I find radio as a medium of
great
change.
medium.
It's great. It's live, and as long as people decide to stick, as long as you're relevant, as long as we continue to be relevant.
Exactly.
The amount of people that call radio and talk to them, I always am fascinated. Like whenever you have these things, like there's always someone who's calling and like, "Kaise ho? Acha."
And they're real, huh? Sahil, there's no cheating.
They're real. No cheating. No cheating.
Mostly.
No one. So it's very fascinating, especially when I'm listening to Love Guru.
Are we allowed to ask questions of each other? No.
You can, of course.
So I want to ask you, like both of you as comedians, when you like do that firky of the people in the front row, do you all ever get worried that they'll say something back, or like where does that come? Because I mean, I do stuff like that on stage as well, but I think you should tell. How does that confidence of ye kuch bolega, and I'll find something to say to what he says? How do you?
Like a long time ago, someone had told me a very nice rule to remember is that at the end of the day, no matter what you say,
they laugh.
They'll laugh, and you're always going to be funnier than the person.
Because you have the mic.
Yeah, you have the mic, and also one of the things that I've learned in my career is the best way to react is by not reacting at all. So for example, if I'm saying something, right, and I remember I'd done this. I did a show 3 days ago. I was on stage. I was in Delhi, okay, and halfway through, one guy yells, "Teri maa ki choot," right, and
College gig.
Oh, and I literally just did. That's it. Just 5 minutes of expressions and the crowd started laughing because you don't have to say the joke. Just your face of, kya hai? Huh? That's it. And then he shut up, because it made no sense because if you're not reacting, but that's the funny part. It's a process, dude. It takes time. It takes years.
Was your question, so did you mean for when we
Heckling,
get heckled,
right?
heckling or when we proactively
When
speak
you
to?
proactively speak, I'm saying
proactively
both. Both ways. One is if they say something. The second one, I was wondering,
For
like, do
me-
you always know you'll have something to say?
It depends. So for
Because
me,
you all make jokes on their names also.
yeah, so for me it's very instinctive. So I have this entire show called Talk to Me where I make up the whole show on the spot by talking to people. So this is something I've learned over the years is I don't go for the punchline straight away.
Yeah, he
even
does
if
it
it's
very
there. Even if it's there, I don't go for it. I'll build it up and then when I see the punchline, slam it.
Example.
Then what I'll do is I'll make a character out of this one person and that person is known, okay, so this person is from so-and-so place, does so-and-so thing, that's his funny thing. And I'll bring it back at some point if I'm talking to somebody else. Also, I've learned that if you say it in a way that they don't feel bad, like it's like a backhanded compliment,
Yeah.
Like, for example, if a guy is with a really hot girl, I'm like, but she's like way out of your league, right? How big is your bank balance? So and like he knows he's not supposed to be with her, but he's like, yeah, but I'm still with her.
He's not supposed to be
it's
with
kind of
her.
like,
Yeah, we know it. So many times you performed and you're like, hey, come on, yaar.
Isn't-
Hey, pagal, ye kyun yaar? Ye
Yeah,
kya ho raha hai,
exactly.
yaar?
That's it.
Ye kya
That's
ho
what I'm
raha
saying.
hai, yaar?
Comedians get to say all these things.
I don't know, Sahil, if you agree with me. I think it's a mix of just psychology and truth.
It is.
If you just kind of
Because
like,
वैसे भी they say
Yeah.
हर मजाक अर्ध सत्य होता है.
yeah, exactly.
Every joke is half a truth. So
Yeah.
I use
And
it.
say it with a smile.
Say it with a smile.
Best
Yeah,
thing
that's
ever.
the best
I'm
thing.
smiling
you
on
do.
the radio when I'm putting
Like,
it. Like,
yeah.
I hope you
It's
know.
like,
Yeah.
it's like, hey dude, that's an ugly t-shirt, dude. Like, that's damn ugly. No, he's not going to be insulted. He's going to be like,
Yeah.
hey, he's laughing. I'm laughing.
And then you can just follow up. That's really ugly. Can I borrow it on the weekend? It's just like
Ah.
so they also in a way you're playing mind games with them. So they are not like, okay, is he being mean to me or is he just having fun?
Yeah.
And the minute the audience members also know, okay, we're just having fun. It's in the moment they like it. In fact, sometimes I've had shows, we've all had shows where people come up to us after a show and they're like, why didn't you pick on me?
I know what
A
you're
lot of
saying.
people now, what
Yeah.
happens is the best part is that, so like I do this, I will pick on someone and that like Daniel said, throughout every part of my joke, somehow I'll put this guy in. So my punchline will be like blah, 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 and then this guy comes in. So like, for example, the Delhi gig, I was doing something happened, I was talking about how you point at aliens, and like all of us will be pointing at aliens and this guy will come behind, loudly scream, hey, uski maa ki choot, and run away, So the crowd starts laughing, he shut up, but he also gets his 5 minutes of fame and it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Correct. And what
Our
I
little
do,
cheat codes to comedy.
Cheat codes, yeah. And then I put him in my pants.
so that Delhi guy is actually
All
here
the
on the
best, Sahil's
podcast
girlfriend.
inside Sahil's chaddis right now. But I think and also I think one final thing to tie that up, what I do at the end of the show is if I've picked on somebody, I thank them, I make a special mention to thank them. and they feel like, oh, okay, fine, yeah.
Not all comedians do that because I know of lots of famous ones from where people have walked out.
Yeah, I've seen-
होता है वो सब
I have seen some comics. So, जल्दी क्या कर रहा है क्यों?
like the first time I was trying to do audience interactions also na, I told myself that I had a joke where if the person's from America, I have a fun joke. Haha, oh, like your president, haha, something like that. So I went to the front row and there was someone white sitting in the front row. So I'm like, where are you from? Huh?
Oh, I'm so scared.
So she like London. I'm like,
Okay.
if you were from America, I would have like this.
No, but live shows are great fun.
Yeah, they're
Audience
great,
interaction
yes.
is great
Yes.
fun.
It's
So
also
don't
like-
watch us on YouTube. Buy a ticket and you'll experience all of this.
Please.
Yeah, but the same thing, right? If you see something on YouTube, will you say that, okay, now people won't go to watch stand-up comedians on stage? That's not true. The beauty of live is...
I agree. So there are a few people, it takes a little bit of convincing. There are a few people who are still like, हाँ नहीं YouTube पे अच्छा है. But there are people
No, you
who
can't laugh.
who have watched on YouTube, watched our videos on YouTube. They've come for a show and they're like, dude, how have I not done this before? All right, Sahil, next question
bolo.
is for you. This is from Kritat. It seems like the money pumped in by Amazon has led to a spate of very average stand-up specials. Do you think some comics should spend time perfecting their craft rather than getting a special? Or in other words, do you think they're doing specials without doing their time?
Daniel, tell me first truthfully, these questions are from real people or...
That's a great question because Daniel and I were discussing it backstage,
Yeah,
right?
the
There are
exact
the
same
pros
thing,
and cons
actually.
of this. The exact same question that you were asking. Like for me, my special, right? Childish behavior. Thank you. Thank you. Recording 21st April. Thank you. My special, I started writing it in June 2 years ago, you know,
takes some
and June
time.
2 years ago, then Jan I started working, and in July I did my trial shows, and it's now been almost like 9 months of me doing this special across the country, and I still don't know whether I'm ready for it to be released, you know. So like for I've been doing this for 8 years, and to still be in this point, it's a different from a lot of people who are like, yeah, fuck it, I've got 1 hour of content, I'm going to make it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a very subjective question, to be honest, you know, because a lot of people, a process for me that could take a year could take someone a month. And for all you know, the content that I've spent a year working on will not do as well as someone who's taken a month working on it. So it's very subjective to answer this, but I can guarantee that everyone I know is working their ass out, because putting out 1 hour of content is not a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Because
is.
they say now writing is literally
It
you
is a-
sit at the typewriter or laptop and you bleed.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like...
When it goes
it's
beyond
not
that, I
easy.
think once you finish writing, that's just the beginning. You have to get on the road, perform it till it's there.
It is lots
See,
of failure, dude.
so here's a perspective I'll add to this question is that there is also something, is the context of the Indian comedy scene that you need to consider. We're what, 7 or 8 years old, not older than 8 years old. We've had to grow up way before our time, okay? If we were doing comedy anywhere else, in the world, we would still be doing
We'd
open
be
mics.
struggling.
We'd be doing open mics. We wouldn't be getting because
Dude,
the markets
scene
are so
abroad
saturated.
Is way intense. Here,
So the competition is intense. The framework is so established and defined that we wouldn't be doing more than 5 minutes, even 6 and 7 years into comedy. What's happening here is because there's no one else before us, we've had to do a lot of things that we wouldn't have to do anywhere else. And one of those things is doing the 1 hour special.
Yeah.
Before we would have done it anywhere else in
Yeah.
any other part of the
Yeah.
market. So now here's what a comic could do. A comic could either go and say, listen, you know, if I was doing this anywhere else, I would be only doing 5 minutes, so I don't think I'm ready. Or you take an opportunity and make the most of it. So I think what every comedian is doing is they're making the most of the opportunities that are coming their way. If it lands, it lands. If it doesn't, it doesn't, man. We're going to be doing this for a very long time.
It's
you
a
know?
big thing, you know, getting a special is a big thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the fact that so many comics are getting a chance to showcase their specials, it's fantastic. That only means that the comedy scene is growing. 2 years ago, you would have never even heard of a special.
Yeah.
And now, 1 hour specials, you can watch, you can binge. It
Correct.
means comedy audience is growing, scene is growing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a great
There
step.
were no podcasts like, you know,
Yeah, dude.
3-4 years
Who
ago.
does
Now
it?
you
Years ago,
can, now
I
you can
remember.
binge an entire
Yeah,
season of a
exactly.
podcast on YouTube.
And
you
it's
know,
damn
just-
irritating.
it's
Like
just
3-4 years
there
ago,
and
he's
you can
right.
just keep watching.
He's absolutely right. Remember, Malishka, we had this idea called I Started It.
Yes!
And this fucker
We
stole
started it.
Yeah, dude. fuck it.
You started it.
Tempered. To answer Kritat's question, I mean, we went into a slightly deviated zone, but to answer his question, more than anything, whether there's good content or bad content, that is what the audience has to decide. From a comedian perspective, I'm very happy that the scene is growing and there more people are... Sorry, I have to come forward with my thoughts and opinions. I'm very happy that the scene is growing and more people are getting chances and opportunities, which is a great
Yeah.
plus sign.
Cool.
Watch my show, Childish Behavior.
Yeah. which is very childishly announced also. One second. Okay. So last question for Malishka. This is from Anjali. How was your radio journey and what is your advice to someone keen on getting into radio? Where does one start? Great.
Get into it.
Yeah, but how? What's
My radio, I tell the story. My friends make a lot of fun of me. When I was a kid, I used to love the languages, hated maths. Hence, I should have cheated at least in my maths paper. Malishka, dude. That's how this whole podcast started.
And you can go to bathrooms also, yeah.
Yeah, but languages. So I used to as a kid, I used to say words like ibadat karne gayi hai. So I was 3 years old and I said Shagufta ibadat karne gayi hai, and I think her mother fainted.
What
so
is ibadat?
Ibadat means she's gone to worship, to pray. And I spoke Urdu when I was 3 years old. Yeah, so she basically fainted, metaphorically. But I think it was just a voice thing. I used to sing, by the way. And so then when the radio boom happened, I was a confused kid. I said, I can do everything. So I'm still of that opinion that I can do everything. So I wanted to do film. I wanted to get into advertising. I was like, I'm creative. I can do this. I can make stories. But radio, I think, came and saved me at the right time. So when the audition happened, I just plunged into it. And they thought I was very funny. So I got that job.
Okay.
But then then Raju Bhai and Alan, these are two people I'll always remember for telling me two very important things. Raju Bhai told me, no, wait, Mayur Bhai. Raju Bhai was the leader. Mayur Bhai told me, content is king, Malishka. And Alan told me, consistency is all that matters. And when you're young and impressionable, these things matter to you. Yeah. So I think that's a thing. Because you can have a great show today and then tomorrow you can be all slum. But consistency
100%.
and content. So I kept going for it. And I don't like a lot of people, if you want to move out of the medium, for me it was always, I will stay in this medium, I will grow in this medium, and while I'm in this medium, I will do other things, because you can't curb talent, come on. So I wanted to do everything. So that has been as far as my
journey is concerned.
Is that a good enough answer?
Yeah,
it's the same
perfect.
thing even for comedy. It's the same thing.
I think I was thinking the same thing, right? And also finding your voice.
Yeah, you want to get into it, you get into it, and you grow in that medium.
But for example, now people ask us, how do I get into comedy? We always say, okay,
what do you say?
Just go.
Do an open mic.
Do it.
Open mic.
But what is that equivalent in this case? So
in radio,
what do you do?
for people to figure that it's not, the radio jockey is not the whole and soul of the radio station. I know we're the face and the voice.
Right.
But that's 4 people in a day part, right? They'll have 4 people. But what about the rest of it? So you should aspire to be more. It can't just be, I want to be famous. What is your goal, to get there? So there are sound engineers, there are CS guys, there's
programming,
Programming is the whole
Do you
team.
still use RCS?
No, we've moved from RCS very, very recently. But
Just dropping
that I
Radio
know.
terms. Radio terms.
When I went and they threw me out. Why? Okay, I'll ask you that question later. So, so there are lots of other things. If you have an open mind, and an open mind to even perhaps move out of your city, because people move. So now everyone wants to come to Mumbai, but it's not possible. You have 4 or 5 radio stations.
Exactly.
And you have 4 or 5 slots. And cumulatively, everyone's sitting like this on their slots, because they've been loved and they worked that hard. You cannot, to wake up every day and go to work for those 4 or 5 hours and churn out content after content.
It's
you have
tough.
that, and that has to be given its due. It's
Especially
not
if you have these really early slots.
early slots, and they're early slots, and you have to stay like that. And you want a life, and you want to do film, and you want to do webs. You want to grow, so you have to account for all that hard work. It's not just the glamour you see. There are radio schools. I've never been to one.
Oh,
but
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are schools that teach. I'm not sure how they work, but there are schools from what I know.
Okay.
There are internships. That's how you start. You don't harass the radio jockey. You go to the radio station, and if you're really, really keen, you've got to find any way to get to the programming head. I've given you the name, okay? The programming head. And chase the programming head. कि मेरे को यहाँ पे internship करना है, मेरे को काम करना है. That's how interns come in. They grow. You can't just be put on air. Yeah?
Makes
Once
sense.
they did this, they put one girl who just wanted to be on radio because she was somebody's relative, and she went on the radio and didn't realize that you're live. As in, you have to talk live. So you can't say hey, I'm with Daniel and Sahil. Hey, hi, I'm with Daniel and Sahil. Wait, I'll do this again. You're live.
चाचा माइक चल रहा है क्या चाचा? हेलो
mic tampering हो रहा है.
ये क्या हो रहा है? स्टीव स्मिथ कहाँ से आ
Now
गया?
you learn on the job. That's important.
No, I just had a very evil idea when you said, internship. Now, just be an intern for a month or 2, just understand everything.
Give the job Jamal Gota. What, are you serious? No.
Malishka can't. Host the show today. Is there anyone who can fill in? Sir, I've been waiting for a long time.
That is why I don't.
I am
eat,
ready.
I don't eat any food that is offered to me at the radio station.
Can you
I'm
imagine?
kidding.
Is
I
that an
eat
actual
everything.
fear?
I've been told that I shouldn't, and today I'm saying I eat everything. But I have an official shabri.
Okay.
You know what a shabri is,
No.
You know who Shabri is? Shabri was the one who chuckled the bears before.
Are you serious? You've
Oh,
got an
chuckled
official
the what?
person who tastes something.
Oh, you got somebody who tastes your
I have a
food?
food taster.
Wow.
My gala
What?
is a
Holy crap, dude! That's
Comedians,
super cool,
you
man.
yeah,
I
you
should
should.
hire. Please, number base no. I
Because
need a
like-
shabri for everything.
You
Dude.
need a Shabri.
I need a
Alright,
shabri.
speaking of Shabri, Sahil, here's your final question.
Yeah.
Being a writer and a comedian is such a thankless job. You guys don't receive the appreciation you deserve. But Sahil is always so happy and positive. How does he manage that kind of personality? Which is something I said on a previous episode. I don't know if you watched it with Sapan and Uruj. I said Sahil's vibe is very like happy.
Yeah.
So
Cause
Don't
How?
worry, be happy.
how?
because सब कुछ झूठ है. No. No, the coffee is getting it to me. No, it's very simple, dude. Like you in this field, especially in any field, entertainment, media, anything like that, you're constantly going to be facing criticism. You're constantly be facing haters. You're constantly every day you'll wake up to messages saying "fuck you, you suck" and all that shit. After a point of time, you're just like, okay, cool, I know, thanks. And I like being happy, dude, because that's who I am as a person. So like, it's not like a lot of people on stage are very different from off stage. You know, like
Yeah.
comedians you meet on stage, they are like, oh wow, this dude is so funny. I'll hang with him off stage, and then he's damn boring.
Hannah?
Huh.
You know, forget boring. I think my experiences, they're mostly angry.
Huh.
I can't say all of them, but a few of them I met, they're mostly angry. I'm like, why are you angry?
Yeah, but like as Daniel, as
You're
Daniel,
not
like,
angry,
on
you're a
stage and
chiller.
off stage, we both fuck around. You know, like off stage,
Yeah.
you see me, I'm the same person. On stage, I'm the same person. So it's not like I have a different personality on stage. You know, I'm not putting on a character. On stage, I'm just
Yeah, that's
I'm the same.
Also,
guy
I don't think you
talking to
last
people.
long if you're. Also, I think some people are conserving their energy, but I don't think you being two different people. Like, even on the radio, there are people who have different personalities.
Personas,
Yeah.
It is not possible.
Not possible.
No, for me
For
off
long
stage,
term.
I'm not as funny because like I'm like पैसा नहीं मिल रहा है इसके लिए तो क्यों?
Now, right now, are you being funny?
Yeah, this
This
video is
is
being
fun.
monetized. no?
I'm always at the funny
But that
guy,
is
yes,
true about
because-
you.
I'll meet
we
you
even
backstage,
discussed
I'll
that.
figure
That
out.
Sahil's the same off stage and on. He's always switched on. So
But that's how I am.
that's how
I
he
am.
is. You know.
That's how
So
I've always
does
been.
that help you deal with this?
No, I mean, it's not dealing. It's like I don't care for appreciation because at the end of the day, right? Like, I mean, what I mean by that is that so on stage, off stage, at the end of the day, even the tiniest smile matters to me. So if three of us we are sitting as friends and I crack a stupid joke and you laugh, that's it. I'm not doing it because it's my job. I'm doing it because I want people to laugh. And at the end of the day,
Well said.
yeah, at the end of the day, that's all that I care about. You know, if
Well
I'm in a
said.
room and everyone's laughing, that's all. It doesn't matter whether they're laughing at me or with me. As long as they please don't laugh at me. But, as long
Damn it, Sahil.
but see, case in point, you know, as long as I get this, I don't care. Dude.
Damn
I'm
But I
very
agree.
happy.
But also, people expect it of you. It's not easy
Yeah.
to. It's the same with me when I'm walking on the roads and they recognize me. That joy that they have when they see
Yeah.
people like you and me
Yeah.
is
Fine.
different because
Fine.
like
Okay.
like the film stars roam
yeah.
around with security guards. They can't go up to them, but they'll be like, "Hey, Daniel, you're so funny." And if you're suddenly like, "I'm a khatam" off stage, it's tough, dude.
Okay,
You
fine, man.
Be
Okay,
nice,
fine.
dude.
Fine. Okay, I
They're
will
customers
be, I
forever.
will be funny off stage
Yeah.
also. Okay.
It's like a 5-star hotel. If they tell you
I
not
just
to
feel
use
like
their
two
loo,
parents are yelling at me all of a sudden. Like,
That
no,
two
beta,
very happy, excited
no,
parents.
beta, it is not about the money. Okay, it's about
Yeah.
making people laugh. What are your priorities?
This is
Exactly.
I want to bring this 5-star hotel in if you let me. I'm saying if you let me, guys. But I believe that if you need to pee really badly, you should be able to go to a 5-star hotel, and they should. I mean, you should, anyway you do, but they can't tell you not to because you're not their customer. Because I was and I could be. That's not what I'm saying.
मुझे allowed करते
Doesn't-
नहीं है.
but
I
look,
give a very भिखारी
I
vibes.
could be someday or the
Sahil
other.
is
My
not allowed. Sahil is not allowed even if he's staying in the hotel.
Sir, क्या?
Please,
Please.
I'm not. I say over here. वो नहीं.
हाँ, cleaner है ना बाहर का.
Okay, fine. ठीक है, चलो, ठीक है. मैं
Yeah,
joke
so you have
सुनाऊँ
to
आपको?
basically always be good to your audience.
Okay,
Yeah, dude.
fine. Hey, I am good to the audience. I'm just not
Just be
funny.
happy, man.
Our
There's too
fellow
much.
has been spanked and ball tampered, I feel.
Yeah.
And on that note, we come to the end of our episode. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Did you have fun?
Yeah, dude. Had a lot of fun. Good time pass.
High five,
I'm
boys.
glad
High
we
five.
could-
High, not low.
Sorry. I'm glad we could do this. Together. Yeah, I'm glad we could do this. Sahil, before we let you go, are there any shows that you would like to announce
All right,
where
yeah.
people could see you?
So
Anything big coming up?
Any big coming up? Any big?
No.
I'm so immature. Any big things coming up? Oh, yeah. Okay, no. On the 21st of April, I am recording my stand-up special, Childish Behavior, at Rang Mandir in Bandra. And the special is coming on Amazon Prime. And like I said earlier, I've worked my ass out on it. So please come. Tickets are there on Insider. Just book, come, and be the best audience ever. Because it's a stupid show and I would love for you guys to be there.
Yeah,
21st
and
April.
also your presence at that show will be captured forever. It will be on Amazon Prime.
Forever.
You
Yeah.
will be there on Amazon
You'll
Prime.
be in the
guys.
audience,
It's your
dude.
chance to be in a comedy special.
Yeah, dude.
What about you, Malishka? Anything big?
I'll be in the audience if I'll.
Please, 21st April.
I love cameras.
Aajao, I'll call you. I'll call you. Come.
Done.
What am I? Radio Red FM 93.5 every morning, and always looking for new and challenging things to do.
Great.
I'm reading 3 scripts at the moment.
Wow.
Ooh, is what I like to say. But no, but like the future vibe is exactly this: to do more work and to do more meaningful work, and of course, eventually become the Oprah of this country. Wish me best.
Done.
I will,
Awesome.
so.
Done. More power to you.
Well done.
I
More
love
power
her.
to you. I'm on tour as well, as you are probably sick of hearing, but the show is really nice. So if you see shadows in your city in the next couple of months, anytime in the next couple of months, please buy a ticket. Come watch the show.
Why have I not been in that?
And I would love to have you in the audience as well. An audio version of this podcast is also available for you to download, and you can listen to it wherever you are. Let us know what you thought about this episode, any fun experiences you may have had of cheating with finesse.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Type them in
That'd
the
be fun
comment
to
section.
read.
If you
Like.
didn't like the podcast, it's okay. You don't have to comment at all. That's totally fine. My name is Daniel Fernandes. This is Malishka and Sahil.
And
Take
that
care.
mic has been stolen.
Goodbye.
That mic.
Hey, I'm not wearing
नहीं जा रहा है,
pants.
अंदर जा रहा
No
है।
pants today, shucks.